Yeah, 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 yeah. Burn live, y'all. Yeah, burn live, y'all. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Burn live, y'all. Merv Wankley keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers I read. Keeping underage smoking off social media, killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family. Welcome to another edition of the Burn Live Show. I appreciate people tuning in. Appreciate people tuning in. What's been going on today? What's been going on today? I'm not gonna say a lot of things been going on, but I've been trying to work on this new program that's supposed to be a little bit more accessible for me to go live on different platforms and stuff like that. I've been having trouble all day, so I went back to my old program where I know how to work, where I know how to jam, where I know how to work it and put some music, put on the show to guys. Because I was ready to smoke, I've been ready to smoke all day. This has been a long day. For me, wanting to smoke on the off day, when the smoke shouldn't be going through that. Chilling with you guys. I hope everybody can hear me pretty good. Please let me know. Let me do a check. Okay, so you're hearing pretty good. I appreciate it. You're hearing pretty good. Got the music playing in the background a little bit. So what's going on, guys? What y'all smoking on? Do you got some good green? Do you got some good green? I'm looking at my show, and it looks alright. It looks alright. It could be better. It could be better. What's been going on, man? Biggest thing I've been seeing out there in the news feed has been relationship drama talks, and it's like everybody wants to talk about relationships or talk about how good a person is, how bad a person is. That has been like the main thing. And I don't know. I'm a pothead channel, plus I talk about politics on here and news and all the crazy corruption that goes on in America. But then I do get this big ass request to talk about relationships, and I was like, man, I feel like I am one of the last people to talk about relationships due to the fact that I cannot keep a relationship not no longer than a year. I think a year and a half is about the longest I ever been in a relationship with a person. So I just feel like I have no place, no shape, no form to be trying to tell somebody, hey, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should not be doing. I do understand there are things that people shouldn't be putting up with in a relationship or dealing with. I'm gonna go there. There are things that you should put up with, or things that I refuse to put up with just because I'm getting older and I don't want to be living alone. I think, what I'm saying, certain statutes, certain things is a little overrated and stuff like that. Some things you rather be by yourself than dealing with other people because you just don't want to deal with the craziness that comes with dealing with a relationship. And I totally get it. So we're gonna take our first puff. We're gonna get on some weed. We're gonna have a open conversation. Hopefully, I can get some people up in here for some chats. So shout out to YouTube, Burn Live, Cannabis Conservative. I'm on Twitter, and I'm on my 4 pages on Facebook page. I got a little hole don't want to hit. I got 4 Facebook page. So shout out to the Burn Live page, the Cannabis Conservative page, the Burn Live Arts and Crafts, and Blaze. What is it? Blaze 2020. Shout out to them for letting me go on live on the platforms and just expressing myself and giving people another type of platform to go on. I'm also live on my regular page because I've been hearing or I've been seeing people post that they've been looking for a platform or a place to where they can come sit down and have a good conversation and talk about some things. And so therefore I'm this is my way of presenting myself and putting myself out there. Like, look, this is a place where you can come talk about some things. You can come on a live show. I can send a request. We can some sit here, hour, hour and a half, and discuss some things that you feel are important. Um, I can't talk about sports. You know what I'm saying? I know about sports. I know about acting. I know about a little bit what's going on in the celebrity world, a little bit about the music. I'm a little bit touched on a little bit of everything. It depends on what it is. I do try to keep in touch and up to date with everything. But this blood is not hitting at all, y'all. It's not it. I don't know where the hole at. We should be talking about that, huh? Blessed hoes. But no, there's a lot of different things that be going on, man. I could talk about, like I said, sports, relationships, a little bit on the relationships, friendships, sponsorships. Talk about a little bit of everything. I try to talk about a little bit of everything on here. I try to discuss everything, just to show people the variety and things that I can discuss, because a lot of people see my show and they're like, bro, the only thing you talk about is politics. Now, that is my favorite thing to discuss when I'm by myself and I'm up here and I'm chilling with you guys and I have nothing to discuss. I can always go into politics because that is the most scandalous thing where a lot of things go down, and I feel a lot of people don't get to see the real side or see a true side or hear from a person like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is how I feel. Where, oh man, I was feeling the same way. So that's why I sit up here and I try to discuss a little bit of everything that goes on so we can just have a conversation. Get your blunts. I'm supposed to be saying this in the beginning too, y'all. Get your blunts, get your weeds, get your bongs, get your pipes, get whatever you need to smoke weed, sit down, have a conversation with me, and we can sit here. Uh, I started this a long time ago, and man, I used to stand up. I used to didn't have nobody up in here for real, and a lot of that. So I do appreciate people stopping through. I did say somebody up in here. I accidentally erased the name. I was gonna say what's up, try to get up a shout out. I know a lot of my old people that I used to rock with don't rock with me no more. I see them in different groups. I understand, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe one day they'll come across the Burn Live show, see that what I'm saying I have upgraded from what we used to do. I actually sit down, got a microphone, got a camera. We sit here, we try to look a little bit more professional than normal. Maybe, what I'm saying, I can grow back a little small, little marijuana audience. We can grow smoke. Um, I wear shirts. I wear Burn Live shirts that I get made at the store just because I don't know. I just like wearing my company. You know what I'm saying? I like wearing my podcast that I like doing. I do like doing that and chilling. I just do. Easy promotion. Then I come on here promote. Y'all see this show. It's been around since 2017. We get to chill and have a good time. Other than that, I try to keep things open when it comes to conversation, when it comes to guests. Guests come over, we're gonna have an open conversation. We can talk about anything. Let's just keep it real. But if I'm not gonna have a guest and I got people coming on her, hello, happy. You know what I'm saying? I got nobody coming to her. And there been some things that going down in politics. You people that know me, people that been watching the show, y'all know I'm gonna talk about it. For an example, you know what I'm saying? Not to get too deep off into things, but the Hunter Biden situation where he's going to court for his mishaps of taxes. He just went up here and explained to people that, his dad ain't got nothing to do with none of these funds and none of this money that he be making. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Who am I to judge and say that you are wrong or you are bad or you are something? You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. I appreciate it. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, everybody? If you put a comment, you know what I'm saying, I will put your comment up. It's not like I got 1,000 people up in here and I can't keep track of the comments, which I if that ever happened, I do got another platform I go to where I got to where the platforms come up. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? The Hunter Biden situation is like whatever, whatever. That's one situation. Another situation I had just seen that makes for a easy, small conversation that I know that y'all are not really hip on. And this is what I like to do is bring a conversation that y'all too much or not up on, or maybe not in the cool. Like, bro, you talking about something that's boring. I maybe want to talk about those boring conversations, try to make those boring conversations a little bit hyper, and just put y'all guys up on game. What's going on? So I'm looking at look like Vivi Ramaswamy is having a town hall meeting. Y'all know who Vivi Ramaswamy is. He's a nice young guy. Matter of fact, let me just bring him up real quick. I didn't know and man with it, so that's cool. You know what I'm saying? In with this. So let me bring this up, y'all. Vivi Ramaswamy is a young candidate. Everybody wants a young candidate. I hear it all the time. People want a young candidate for president. There's a young guy who's American, who made money, who made millionaire, and y'all don't be wanting the guy up there.
Somebody whose best days in life are still yet ahead. To see a country whose best days are still ahead of itself. And I
So this is Vivi Ramaswamy. I'm not gonna stay on her too much longer. Just want to show my audience Vivi Ramaswamy, a young 38 candidate that's running for president. You know what I'm saying? Rap rapped Eminem lyrics, so he thinks he's hip. Kind of a cool guy. Depends on how you say it. I don't know.
What's your name again, sir?
I listen to Vivi Ramaswamy speak a lot. I have. And to be honest with you, just between me and you and the audience, I think Vivi Ramaswamy is a very cool candidate when it comes to the next president of the United States if Trump was not in the way. I'm just giving it real. Trump was not in the way. Other thing that's been going on, Tucker Carlson had an interview with Andrew Andrew Alex Jones. I'm sorry. Tucker Carlson had an interview with Alex Jones talking about freedom of speech. Elon Musk just let Alex Jones back on the Twitter, or formerly known as X. A lot of people are having problems with that. A lot of people are upset with that. Well, liberals, Democratic liberals, are having problems with it. They're thinking that it's not fair. You're letting a person that spoke on somebody's death who got sued $1.5 billion. You let this man back on a platform and conversation to have a conversation, and people are not happy with this. People are upset. People are not comfortable. And then I'm thinking to myself, ladies and gentlemen, what is comfortable when it comes to freedom of speech? A lot of people say a lot of things that we don't like every day that we consider hate speech or dis not like speech. And you kind of got to deal with it. You kind of got to deal with any type of speech that you have came across. Like, we're not gonna sit up here and be hating on something that y'all want to claim that took place. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We got a lot of hate speech, and I played a video yesterday. If y'all watched the video from yesterday of Kevin KG, Kevin Garnett, it was on a podcast, and they were talking about who's the best, and dude was calling dude little cupcake. You know what I'm saying? Freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? These guys are friends. Is it freedom of speech when you guys are friends, or is only worried about freedom of speech because you guys don't know each other? How is we really looking at this? How's we breaking this down? How's we defining freedom of speech? A lot of people, I guarantee, y'all really, truly do not care about freedom of speech. It's not affecting you. You like, bro, let's talk about more things that affecting us. So what more things that affect you? And if you're not gonna sit up here and say that freedom of speech affects you, then I'm gonna have to honestly say that you're blind to the fact of things that are going on around you. And there are bigger things in bigger places that affect you with freedom of speech that you kind of got to pay attention to. You kind of got to realize that it is happening. And if they take it away from you, if you're not allowed to express that you do not like the president, or you do not like your neighbor, or you do not like this religion because it's your right, then you're going to have a problem. You're going to feel something wrong. Look at all the marching and protesting because of the Israel Hamas war that's going on. If freedom of speech wasn't like that, then you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to march. You wouldn't be able to protest. You got students that are trying to get presidents fired. I know some of y'all seen some of these articles. I'm just running down a few articles of things that's been going on just to speed you up before I decide what truly I want to get into that I feel is important. But yet again, freedom of speech is the main thing that I'm talking about right now. And you got students that are getting the president's teachers fired because of they're going to rallies or they feel some type of way. And that is a small step of taking away freedom of speech because you felt some type of way and you all go to the same school. Now you don't want that person there. My generation of people, we didn't have that coming up. We wasn't looking at stuff like that. We wasn't saying this happened. There was plenty of times that we didn't like something that we was told. We couldn't say nothing. What was we saying? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got somebody that's listening to me, and he just messaged me. Now that I appreciate. That I appreciate. Let me turn this down. Let me try to turn it down. Give me a second. I'm gonna run this quick commercial break. I think maybe I can fix that small problem. I'll be right back. Well, I cut that short. The little fan, got my fan that should be cutting off sometime soon. Hopefully that's the little error problem that we had in the background for the listener that I had. I appreciate you. If you're gonna take the time out to text me on the side, like, hey man, I'm watching your show. I'm not liking how it sounds. Appreciate it. Cause I work real hard to try to put this show together, try to make a decent sound barrier and stuff like that. And I don't have time to check the auto and make sure that everything is right because yet again it's just me by myself just sitting up here trying to do this. So I got this over here. Yeah, so man, it sounds pretty decent from my end so far. Like I said, this fan will cut off pretty soon. Normally I cut the fan off before I go live. I did forget to cut the fan off, so I do apologize if that's messing up the sound for people that are watching. I did have noise cancellation put on. I thought I did. Let me check. Yeah, so I do got noise cancellation in the background as much as possible. Um, yeah, just trying to get everything set up and ready for you. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate everybody putting their 2 cents in and coming up in here doing the show. Y'all didn't have to. And there the fan go. The fan is off. So maybe now that it sounds a little bit better. Maybe it sounds a little bit better. Let me try to take it off the echo. I did put a little sound effect. This I was watching this video that you're supposed to put up sound effects, it's supposed to make it sound a little bit better. Give it more of a good bass tone to the show. So, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be a little interesting, y'all. Now back to what I was talking about when I was talking about freedom of speech and how in different varieties and around different areas you got to look for freedom of speech and things are just not looking so good. Another thing is when it comes to freedom of speech, like podcasts, man, podcasts has been one of the best places to where you can sit up here and express yourself and talk about some things and, like, you know what I'm saying, put up subject. I know a person that I wouldn't not have, well, understandable that they got a podcast and they literally talk about relationships. Like that's their main thing. They talk about relationships and how to become dominant and stuff like that. And I was like, that's like what everybody's doing. Everybody, and it's true. Everybody's doing the normal. You can go on a marijuana podcast show, and everybody's gonna sit up there and we're talking about weed. We sitting up there chilling, we smoking, and to the fact of where you got high to where you can't think about nothing to talk about. And I be like, man, that's cool until you get the staring off in space and stuff like that. That kind of irritate me. So I took in the time out to make a marijuana podcast that looks like this. Well, that's set up to where it's more of me conversating with you guys, maybe telling y'all some stories about some things that are going on and breaking some things down for 2 hours. And I understand that maybe, just maybe, I need to sit up here and make the 10-minute little videos, just sticking to one subject, talk about it for 10 minutes, show a couple of videos, post it, boom. I do understand that yeah, I need to start doing that too. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't like watch podcasts. There's a lot of people who don't like podcasts, and I get it. But yet again, I want to make something that was worthwhile, that was a little time consuming. My blood hitting real good too, y'all. It's hitting real good. But I want to make something a little time consuming. Something that's taking time out to discuss, to break things down, to see the full picture of a situation over an idea or a thought or a conversation. Just a full blown conversation to where you can understand that we are getting somewhere, like some ideas, some progress is happening. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, if you want to grow some weed, which I'm just got done talking to my friend Enrod, which he comes on here sometimes out the blue. Enrod is finna hook me up with a grower, and we finna have a grow house. And I'm gonna put it somewhere in my background. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to do a lot of changing around the format again. It seems like I'm always changing things. I'm changing things around. So we had a grow house. I want to be able to have it in my show in the background too, just as much as my grow house is going to have its own podcast, its own show where it just maybe a couple YouTube something is going to go 24 hours, always showing how it's growing, showing the different stages that we go through in a process like that. Just a marijuana and growing relaxing channel for the mind, because I see that like a lot of people like just seeing just the growth, just to seeing the flower. It's relaxing just to see flower grow, and I get that. And I understand that. And I think that is a powerful thing to do is to go get some weed and grow it. And how it relaxes you, teaches you patience, patience, virtue, and things like that. So it gives you something to look forward to, right? I want to add that to the things that I do. Um, I had a candidate that claimed they were gonna be here every weekend. You know what I'm saying? And we was gonna do sports. We was supposed to been talking about sports. I think we supposed to been I was supposed to been talking about sports like every Saturday and stuff like that. So I have always tried to switch things up and bring things to the table and bring different things to the table, not just the same thing, just not the same ordinary thing that bore you guys. I actually try to bring some things to the table. I remember one day I had this sitting like right there, which now it's a blur. I didn't have time for the camera to capture it. And it had the logo, which, wow, I don't have my logo up, which I thought was cool. I don't have my logo up. Interesting. Bing. Not that one. There we go. I have my logo up in the corner, which is normally I was gonna have it down there in a corner. Been rocking this logo for about a good 6 years. Been rocking this logo about a good 6 years. But you see how when you just talk about regular things, how it does get short, it does get simple, you know what I'm saying? And it probably does get boring. Not gonna lie to you. See, me, I can get into all these other cases that's going on. Now, what am going to start picking up is on the P Diddy case because everybody's talking about it. There's a lot of different stories that are coming out. A lot of different people who dealt with P Diddy is all of a sudden coming out like, man, I ain't gonna deal with P Diddy, man. I ain't never dealt with that dude, man. It was like blase, blase, blah. And you be like, hold on, man, that ain't how y'all was rocking at first, homie. That's not how y'all was rocking at first. But now that a law came out where you could bring up a case from 20 years back. It doesn't matter. 20, 40, 50 years back, somebody did something wrong to you, assaulted you, especially a female. You can bring up the case and you can get some type of justification, money, or lawsuit or jail time, sentence something out of the case. So it dropped 12 o'clock Eastern time. So that's what, 10 o'clock here? 10 o'clock over here on the West Coast. As soon as that dropped, cases was filed no less than an hour on P. Diddy. Like that's how fast this shit took off. And not only did it take off, like it was already a girl out there on internet who goes around on podcasts or goes around on one man podcast that has a lot of stories to tell and be like, okay, man, if this person was alive, if Heavy D was alive, if Black Rob was alive, if a lot of artists back in the day was alive, you would hear some stories about P. Diddy that you would feel probably uncomfortable today. At today's times, a lot of things that happened in the 90s and the 80s would can be considered uncomfortable. This is the most sensitive um, generation that we have ever lived in. Now, to get deeper off into the P. Diddy, I don't know if that's where y'all want to go, but to understand that this is the suffer generation of all times is a whole nother subject. in a rabbit hole that a movie, and I talked about this yesterday, a movie came out that's hitting airwaves that people are talking about that is ran by Barack Obama. And it's on Netflix right now. You can go see it. Something about the world ends, the ending of the world, or sometimes I forgot. I really forgot the name. I'm totally sorry. But go check out the podcast from yesterday, and you can go see about it. It was an interesting conversation. I actually had my cousin come into the podcast, and we actually had a discussion about it. So go check that out. Anyway, getting deeper off into this, um, Barack Obama actually went to the show and helped these people direct it and be like, hey, this would happen in this situation, this was happening. And some of the tactics that they put in the movie are tactics that you can actually use in today's society. That's why this is breaking news. There's not no ordinary, you know, movie where, what I'm saying, we just ideas and we just sit here thinking about something. Like, no, these ideas were really put together to put a little scare into you, a little reality into you, and let you understand like this is really going down. So, you know what I'm saying? Really, people got to sit up here and really think about like, yo, no matter what y'all sitting up here and say, like, hey man, I'm gonna do my thing, the government's gonna do their thing. You still, and I'm gonna put this out there, you still gotta pay attention to the government. You gotta watch your back. You gotta make sure that your surroundings are strong enough to do what you need to do. Because yet again, you got other countries going to war. You better be careful. You gotta watch your back before there's war on our territory, on our turf. Now, understand there hasn't been war on our turf since what? The Civil War? World War II? Civil War? Pearl Harbor? Hawaii? Yeah, Pearl Harbor. So, America is not really used to having a war touch ground. There's no idea what you're gonna do if a war really truly broke out. I done heard people, I done questioned a lot of people, and I'm like, man, what you do if a war broke out? Man, you know what I do, bro? I'll be ready. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds very interesting. Sounds very nice how people claim how ready they will be if a war broke out. I'm totally up here to not to say that nobody's lied and nobody's not prepared. But then what about the millions of people that are not prepared? What about the innocent and those innocent bystanders? Just like y'all heard in the Hamas and Israel war, there were innocent bystanders, people that didn't have nothing to do with the war that was kidnapped. Okay, they only gave back a little bit over half. So I'm not sure. Don't quote me on the numbers. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to this war somewhat closely, but now that there are some numbers that have come out, and you can go look these numbers up. There's some numbers come out that enough money that we, me and you, have donated to these wars, there have not been no effect. There have not declared that there's any end to these wars. And so it's just like, okay, you kind of want to calm down and don't want to listen to it because you don't want to get frustrated, understanding that we spending trillions of dollars. Well, Joe Biden want to spend trillions of dollars on this war where there's no ending. Then you want to spend more money on another war, on an older war that are understandable that some people may have forgot about Russia Ukraine war that's still going on, and you still want to spend money on that. So to put money on our allies, spend money on allies is I don't know. It's just sound like we want to pamper people, and I don't think that we should be in the field of pampering. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't like pampering your cousins. You don't like pampering your nephews and nieces when they come to you with problems, especially if they on some grown stuff. If they get to a part or a lifestyle where they done got grown, you don't want to help them out. You not on helping them. You not up for that. That's not what you're trying to do. You be trying to chill and sit back and relax and do you and have your own life, your own problems you're dealing with. So it amazes me that we sit up here and want to donate to a whole country. Then you get the report back, ladies and gentlemen. You get a report back that says, hey, the money that you'd been donating to this country is going to paychecks, the fire department, health, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. We're basically we're donating our paychecks to somebody else to pay for their paycheck so their society to succeed. Basically, we're paying for their economy. We're not putting no money into a war to help them end a war. We help them to maintain their citizens so the people that aren't in a war can have whatever the heck they need to have over there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not discriminating, but it just kind of doesn't make sense that we're spending that much money in another country not to help them end the war, but help them maintain their citizens that doesn't have nothing to do with the war. That's where I'm looking at this like, okay, we kind of, Houston, we do have a problem. Okay. Yeah, we got a problem. Yeah, that kind of bothered me, as y'all see. I spent a little bit on that. To keep further on going, I had to actually stop my little service because my signal was getting weak. That's why I've been trying to work with these other platforms, y'all. Cause signal get weak, y'all get to seeing the scudder. Y'all don't want to see that. Y'all get to leaving. Like I ain't got time for that. Nigga need to fix this shit. Okay. So other news, old news that we just gonna speed people up on is that a lot of your movies, a lot of your favorite movies was finna come out or was about to came out. Or let's keep it 100. A lot of your movies should have already came out probably last year and this year. It should have already came out, and you didn't get to see them, and it's been a pushback. So yeah, I know a lot of people heard about the writer strikes and then the actor strikes, and that's kind of over with now. And you got a lot of people that are getting back to making movies. So you should be seeing either your favorite movie about to come out, your actors or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've been noticing that not only are these movies getting back into production and acting and you know putting out there on the big screen. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, but I noticed that a lot of people had to actually recast certain scenes, certain people, and we talking about main actors in certain movies because either the movie took too long for them to come out with, or you know when you get a different director, they were trying to go in a different act. They were trying to go in a different way. I've been noticing that, especially with this one movie that I wanted to come out. It's been at least a good 12 different actors that have came out and have said different things and have exposed this is why they're not in the movies and different blah 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 blah. You know, You also got the Jonathan Major case that's been going on, ladies and gentlemen, with this assault or battery. Um, I know one day you would hear that dude can spend up to a year, spend up to 2 years, 3 years in jail. One day you hear that he's free. This has been an ongoing case. They tried not to go to trial at first with it, but then they went to trial with it. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy how people wants to sit up here and see an opportunity and take advantage of it. Now, Trump said something, what, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, yeah, oh, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever. Trump said something a while back that's starting to come to tuition today. Something that, yet again, that goes back to the P. Diddy conversation, something that goes back into a lot of other conversations that we was having earlier. It comes back around where if you's a millionaire, especially a millionaire, and somebody sues you, they become a millionaire too. And that seems like that's been the trend. That's the American thing to do nowadays. Is, you know what? Let me get with somebody that's a millionaire, and let me try to get him for his money. There's actually a baseball player who had to catch a girl, caught the girl that was actually trying to do it, and they went to court over it. Yeah, I know some people. Yeah, some of y'all like, what, a baseball? Yeah, a baseball player, man, actually caught the girl, got it on recording, got it on tape, got the text messages from her friend talking about, hey girl, how you gonna get the bag from her? Yeah, it was a big story. Everybody was talking about it. I know you seen it on TikTok. A lot of people that watch my show guaranteed watches TikTok. I guarantee you watch TikTok. You sit up here and you discuss some type of TikTok show. You see something on TikTok. My cousin send me TikTok and be like, hey man, this person live. I got a good friend that sit up here and say, man, you should be going live on TikTok because you stuff that you talk about and how you talk about it would go good on live. And I understand. Maybe TikTok is for me. Maybe that's the platform I need to go to where I can just sit up here and discuss some things and draw me a little audience and see where to go. See if we can start a movement. But yet again, I want to start me a marijuana political movement and not just for legalizing weed. I want gun license in all 50 states for everybody that smoke weed so we can protect ourselves too. It's not just to sit up here and just to bullshit around. I do got goals, I do got plans, but yet again, I have to start somewhere and protecting you guys and starting a conversation and making sure that it's believable and understandable that this is proceedable for y'all to sit up here and want to talk. So this is what I do. And the thing about this movement, whenever I can be able to start it, and when I ever be able to get this other platform, because uh, I still want to do on this platform, and I kind of want to try to be sneaky and just run it off the two platforms. I wonder could I do that? Well, I don't want to do that right now because I want to distract y'all from this good conversation that I'm having, which I'm kind of on a roll. Anyway, I'm kind of on a roll. So the idea of trying to move 50 states with the gun license to protect ourselves from potheads, I believe is highly important. Um, I got a friend, I got a guy that's a police officer that was smoking weed while he was on duty. Luckily, he was in another country. You know what I'm saying? It was probably nothing that I can do to get that person, not to say to get the person fired, but to get that person to understand, like, yes, certain positions, yes, I'm going to say this, certain positions do hold a certain standard, and I don't think you should be smoking weed when you're at certain standards. When you're here to serve and protect on duty, maybe not. When you're at home and you want to relax and you don't want to drink, because I do understand drinking is not the way to go. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, I do understand drinking is not the way to go. A lot of people do not like drinking. And if a police officer want to get off work, you know what I'm saying? He worked a 12-hour shift. He done did his protection. He want to go home. He wants to light up that doobie. I think that should be okay. He's in the comfort of his home. He wants to light up his doobie. You know what I'm saying? I think that should be chilling. Now, you might like, man, fuck the police. I don't think the police should be able to get away with nothing. They already get away with enough killing that they do, or writing tickets. Why do you think they should be able to smoke weed? Well, the reason of why I believe they should be able to smoke weed, because if they were smoking weed, they probably would have left your ass the fuck alone. I had to take a nap after that. They probably would have left you alone. They probably would have not bothered you. They probably been a little bit more reasonable with you and understood where the fuck you were coming from. Just maybe. You don't think that? You may not think that. You may think like, huh, you probably got a point. But police officers have a long day. They don't want to drink. They don't like the gin. They don't like the vodka. They don't like the rum. What else do they got? They don't really have too much substance to come home to relax to put their feet up. So yes, I'm gonna sit up here and I'm gonna advocate like, yeah, I believe a police officer, if they did a good job, they got a clean background, which what police officers damn near need anyway, because there are some of you that don't have a clean background. But a clean background, you're a police officer, yeah, I believe that you should be able to smoke a little weed. Go ahead, pop on a little doobie doobie doobie. You know, sit back, relax, with your feet. Put it on down to the escape beat. Let's kick it. Let's kick it. I'm just playing. No, I'm not playing. But I believe that. Yet again, in the same sense that I'm advocating for a police officer, how long time no see. Hey, well, you know what? See, when people say long time no see, y'all should know where to come find me. You should know where you come find me. You know where I be. You know where I'm at. Right here on this podcast somewhere, chilling, conversate. But anyway, yet again, while I'm advocating for police officers to smoke weed off duty, chilling, where you're gonna have to sit up here and regulate some type of marijuana meter. You gotta think about you and me that aren't police officers, that in our homes, that do the right thing, that are raising family, who just want to protect ourselves for my loved ones. I have always thought about this. I have thought about this for a very long time. You're not getting a chance to sit up here and protect your loved ones when you can't have a gun in the house because you smoke weed. That's not truly a fair idea or a safety measure to even live up on when I'm smoking weed and I can't protect myself. These are some of the dangerous times, especially here in America. Period. These are some of the dangerous times here in America. People are finding the weirdest drugs, and the weirdest drugs making people doing the weirdest things because they need it, and they just need that fix. They need to get the money to get their high. So yet again, they need the money to get their high, They're moving out to some of these suburbs where other people don't have nothing, other people that can't protect themselves. And if people know the law, which a lot of people do, don't play people like they're dumb. Chicago, for instance, Detroit, for instance, New York, for instance. These states right there have a high rate of crime where DAs, mayors, governors are getting their carjacks. And when they get caught, they were like, yeah, I got you. I got you, boy. I got him. I got him. I got hood stripes because yet again, I just got a police officer car. Yeah, man. I got a governor's car, man. Oh man, I'm gonna get hood stripes. I'm gonna go to the hood. I'm gonna let them know I did it. They finna let them know that I'm about that life. I can go out here and commit crimes. Oh yeah, they only gave me like 3 to 6 months. Oh, they only gave me probation. They gave me 2 year probation, man. I'll be off in 2 year probation. I'll be off in no time. Bro, I can't smoke a little weed. Come on, bro. I'm gonna smoke weed anyway. I know how to pass a test. These are the minds of criminals. This is why I'm advocating that potheads like you and me, that we do the right thing. I go to work. I want to take trips. I go to work. I'm trying to start other businesses. I'm not trying to get in the way of nobody, but I don't want nobody to run up in my home attacking me because I have something up in here that they like. They might want the speaker. They might want the camera. They might want the ring lights that I got because they may want to do lipsticks. I don't know. You don't know. But if I cannot sit up here and protect myself, oh yeah, I got to use a bat. So like what they say, don't bring a gun, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. That's what people would tell me. Oh yeah, so that's a good one. That is a good one. I gotta post this one. I gotta post this comment. So what are you in for? Oh yeah, just some Tylenol. That is a good point. Marijuana is Tylenol based drug now. That is true. And yet again, I can't protect myself. So with laws like that, laws let me know that if I can overdose off Tylenols, I can still overdose off marijuana, which marijuana still hasn't had nobody overdose off yet, unless you went had a good night's sleep. Tylenol still didn't had death rang up behind it. Marijuana has not had not one death. Okay, only one death has marijuana has technically recorded behind itself when it has come to death. One incident actually recorded. Okay, some female, and it's still not really 100% true. Was it was just marijuana or any other substance that was surrounded? Okay, yeah, and again, I'm trying to step my game up, and I learned that I can go do this other like when I get this other platform thing, this other thing that's supposed to work better, and I learn how to work it, and I go live on it, and I get out of my feelings and I work with it. What if I find out that I can use a 4K resolution camera? And I get that 4K resolution camera, nigga. I got this shit looking, nigga. I got it looking, boy. Y'all see the hair on my, y'all see the dog hair on my shirt, huh? Huh? Cause that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to see. I understand. I want y'all to be if y'all got to make fun of me because you know what I'm saying, like you's an ugly dude. Hey, make fun of me. It is what it is. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm a grown person. I can take it. But can you take back the Jones too? You know, can you take back the words? Words is words. You know. Anyway, but yet again, to protect ourselves, we can't protect ourselves because the law forbids it. Now there are a couple of states, couple of cities, maybe that have reduce the law or change the law to where you can protect yourself at that. I have heard about at least two only. And I look up this law a lot. You know what I'm saying? And especially when I started advocating for it, it started being something that I was looking for. I was almost going to make it one of my hashtags, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think I was ready to be hashtagging on it. Okay. Making sure my dog can drink. He has some water. It's been a long day. We got this rodeo competition next door to us and stuff like that. So, advocating for gun laws is very important when it comes to protecting yourselves and doing stuff like that. You think I should take a dab after I'm done with every subject, especially when I'm about to change subject? I should just take a dab, especially when people are in here with me. Like, man, okay. Yeah. So we just made it to the first hour. Yeah, made it to the first hour. Appreciate it. This is the Burn Live Show. Capiche. I'm your host, Capiche. You know what I'm saying? Marijuana keeping you connected. Hashtagging these red eyes. Changing a viewer's eye red. Keeping underage smoking off social media. Killing myself for your entertainment. I'm sitting here with friends and family starting a cannabis station. That's where this all started. I hope you got your blunts, your joints, your bongs, your rigs, your dabs, whatever you need to smoke weed, sit back, chill, listen to your boy talk, and have a conversation. I shout out to my new listeners. Sorry, Lake Lake Cough. Shout out to my listeners in states that were perfect listen to me. I have started to notice that people are listening to me, so I'm been trying to find out a way to um, do a little bit more talking and less videos and less, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna sit up here and describe what's the dealio, you know? So we made it through the first half. This half, I am finna get, excuse me, to videos real quick. Yeah. Finna get into a video real quick. Show something we gonna talk about discussing. Got me a blunt to place. Okay. It's the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of the year. Last month. What is we doing? Hmm? What is we doing? Are we ready? Stories like this is finna do nothing but get better and better and better when it gets to this election. I'm really finna get people opinion and people see me and know that hey, You want to hear my opinion about something? They're gonna tell me, especially at work. Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear people's opinions where they get to telling me Trump is going to jail. Trump is done for. Um, it's over for him. He has nothing left. I cannot wait. So I can start hit him and tell him, hey, you know, Trump's trial got pushed back to 2028. Yeah. I think another trial got pushed back to 2030 because you can't have all these trials pushed together all at once. I don't know if you knew that. Some people didn't know it. Okay, audience, yeah, don't leave. Don't leave because it's gonna get interesting. Oh yeah, yeah. I see people leaving because y'all don't.
Hours away from the House vote on whether to officially launch an impeachment inquiry against President Biden, as his son Hunter defies a congressional subpoena in a pretty brazen move, skipping his deposition and instead, in this shocking turn of events, he took to the mic in front of the Capitol to defend himself and his father. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-host Emily Compagno. Also joining us, Fox News correspondent Molly Line, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, and Fox News contributor and senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, Mark Thiessen. Well, in his remarks, Hunter Biden blamed shameless MAGA Republicans for targeting him and his family. And he said his father was not, get this, financially, keyword, involved in his business dealings.
I'm here today to answer at a public hearing any legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me. I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies. For 6 years, I've been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine, shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here. Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist. In the depths of my addiction, I was extremely irresponsible with my finances. But to suggest that is grounds for an impeachment inquiry is beyond the absurd. It's shameless. There is no evidence to support the allegations that my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen. Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics, expose their baseless inquiry, or hear.
That's crazy. He said American don't want to see your open taxes. Yes, the fuck they do. Vivi Vivi Ramaswamy opened his taxes for 7 years back, ladies and gentlemen. No, 11 years back. He opened his stuff 11 years back so you can see his taxes and know that he's not a fraud, know that he has nothing to hide for the American people. When you're going, and I understand this is Hunter Biden, this is not Joe Biden. So this is why, for one, I am not finna sit up here and just say, okay, I want Hunter Biden to go to jail so we can go after Joe Biden. I really don't, because I'm starting to see like how they're gonna play this out. In the meanwhile, Joe Biden is not gonna get charged for nothing that his son go down. His son is probably gonna get hit with a guilt charge. He probably gonna get hit with double, triple the fine that he had to pay in his taxes. So he had to pay. He's going to come up with the money. That makes logical sense. That makes about what's gonna happen, and they're probably gonna lag this on just for the fuck of it. Now, only reason I'm saying that because I ain't gonna lie to you, don't want to play no more reindeer games with this allegation. If y'all not gonna jump down hardcore on Joe Biden, if there's not a evidence that's actually leading Joe Biden, which there are, but if you're not gonna crack down on him, I'm tired of hearing about it. This I heard of him coming in public. Some people are gonna say this is the setup. This is the the speech to open up all cases of all cases to see what they really got going on.
What I have to say. What are they afraid of? I'm here. I'm ready.
Well, clearly not here, clearly not ready if he didn't show up for the deposition. Anyway, I digress. Let's bring in Fox News contributor and former Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Congressman Chaffetz, the words used were, I was not financially involved. Joe was not financially involved in my business dealings. I can surmise why he used that terminology. Let's scroll. 20 pieces of evidence from the House Oversight Committee of Joe Biden's involvement. We'll get to the finances in a moment, but take a look at this. Devin Archer saying Joe Biden is the brand, 20 Biden phone calls with business partners, a 2014 dinner with business partners, a 2015 business dinner, 20 pieces of evidence of involvement. Is this why the word financial was used?
Probably, Kaylee. And look, the brand, the product that they were selling was Joe Biden. It was access to Joe Biden. Influence on Joe Biden, and then access to the broader Obama Biden White House and that whole administrative state, because he had the name. He had Hunter Biden as his name. And remember how far this has morphed. It went from, I've never even had a discussion with, between the two, to suddenly now, well, he wasn't financially involved. But, bribery, the payoff is potentially, the allegation is.
See, wordplay, the Democratic Party is going to say word salad. Understandable. Let's hear this.
Thanks, Green. You said that President Biden was familiar with what his son was going to say on Capitol Hill. If I called my dad and said, I am about to violate a congressional subpoena, he'd probably say, son, you shouldn't do that. Was there any attempt by President Biden to talk Hunter out of it today?
You're going to call your dad Steve?
Call him Dad, usually.
Look, I don't have anything else to add. The president was familiar with what Hunter was going to say today. Look, he's proud of his son. He and the First Lady are proud of his son, how he's rebuilding his life back.
That's not answering the question. Listen here. You would have heard had a speech. You would have heard said what you had to say. You would have heard did what you had to do in front of these people. But yet again, you didn't show up to the most important hearing where you got millions of dollars that you didn't pay for or whatever the hell that you're supposed to. Let that have been some regular citizen. He'd have been locked back up. He'd had a warrant out, which understandable. This guy definitely better have a warrant out for his arrest.
He's going to focus on what is needed on the American people. Hunter, and I've said this many times, is a private citizen. And so certainly I would have to refer you to his representatives. I'm just not going to get into private conversations because what you're asking me is actually a private conversation. I'm just not going to get into it.
First briefing since Hunter was indicted again in Los Angeles. Why doesn't President Biden just pardon him?
President, I've been very clear. The president's not going to pardon
And
his
one
son.
more about this Ukraine money for border policy negotiations. In the last 24 hours, 10,000 illegal border crossings, southwest border. Would you admit that the border policy, the Biden border policy so far has not worked?
What I will say is that we have known for decades, that the immigration policy the immigration system is broken. We've said that over and over again. That is
For decades, we have been telling y'all that the border crisis has been a problem. I have never heard the Democratic Party say that the border crisis has been a problem since Joe Biden been in office, since the illegals got shipped up to it's a problem now because they're in democratic areas, democratic ran areas, Colorado, Chicago, New York, Massachusetts. Huh? What? Why is it a problem now? San Francisco just had one of the most dirtiest streets. I cleaned that shit up in a day because a dictator came over here and y'all wanted to impress him. Democratic Party, my black people always talk about how the Democratic Party is the best party to run with. That's the people I'm gonna vote for. Joe Biden is the best. Um, he does what he's supposed to do when it comes to being a president. And I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I ain't gonna say I have never, but I have not really truly bashed him on this podcast since I've been doing this format and this style of talking on as a show, because I really been just sitting back watching and seeing the development of what he's been doing and how nobody's happy and what's going on. I've seen other people that are not happy at what's going on. Not just me. I'm not. You can't. I can't look at myself. It's not about me. It's about us as United States of America, as human beings, as people. What is our problem? What is going on? What is the problem with us, with America? Now, y'all just seen this lady right here just say, we've been telling y'all for decades. Decades is 10. So if one of your little presidents wanted to do something about it, why didn't y'all just let him do what he wanted to do about it? Obviously, he had a solution to solve the problem. He had a solution to solve the problem. You may not like it, but he had a solution to solve the problem. He had a solution. We may not have liked it. So why not sit up here and let this man solve the problem? Yet again, you threw the whole book at this man of trying to lock him up. Y'all been trying to lock Trump up since locking Trump up was a fucking pronoun. Y'all done turned locking Trump up into a verb, into something to do, into a process that needs to take place, into doing what you're trying to do. And I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to understand it. That Trump syndrome thing that people are talking about, that I know a lot of people don't get to hear about. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to be. I'm starting to see it.
Well, we are hours away from.
I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to really take grasp that people do not see that everything Trump did, y'all still won't. Y'all want it. I hope things get better for all of us. For real, for real. I hope things get better for all of us. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna. I'm not sure. And then what's crazy is I'm seeing a lot of people have these podcasts, got their channels and things that they talk about. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Is it going to really make an effect? Is it really going to change the output of us? Are we really ready for this next wave, this next move? I'm curious. Stephen A. Crowder. Is that his name? I don't say. Yeah, Stephen Crowder. Hey, that's a cool dude. Man, everybody going through issues, but everybody get through them. That's what's up. I appreciate everybody getting through the issue. I'm not gonna hold nobody that much longer. I appreciate everybody stopping through. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever time you watch this. And y'all have a good day. Good rest of your day.